you are here, it is not by chance. It is because you feel the constant, grating friction of taking orders when your mind is already 3 moves ahead. You feel the dull ache of seeing potential wasted, of watching plans crumble due to a lack of foresight or courage from those in charge. This is not arrogance. It is the curse of a mind built for strategy, for command. You are here because the pain of following has become greater than the fear of leading. Most people seek comfort. They crave the safety of the herd, the simplicity of a path laid out for them. They see leadership as a prize, a throne, a title, a bigger office. But you and I know the truth. We know that leadership is not a reward. It is a sentence. It is the lonely, thankless burden of seeing the world as it is and having the audacity to try and bend it to your will. It is the weight of every decision, the ghost of every failure, and the constant, gnawing responsibility for the lives and futures of others. They will call you cold, ruthless, ambitious. Let them. Their words are the bleating of sheep who cannot comprehend the mind of the wolf. The truth is, leadership is a hard road, paved with sacrifice and solitude. But for men like us, the alternative, a life spent in the passenger seat of our own destiny, is not just painful, it is a slow, quiet death of the soul. Chapter 1. The currency of silence and stillness. The world is a noisy place. It is filled with shouting, empty promises, and the desperate chatter of those who believe volume equates to power. They mistake movement for progress and noise for influence. This is the first and most common mistake of the amateur. True power, the kind that shifts foundations and alters fates, is forged in silence. Silence is not an absence of something. It is a weapon in its own right. When you are silent, others feel an overwhelming need to fill the void. In their haste to break the tension, they will reveal their intentions, their weaknesses, their fears. They will hand you the very tools you need to dismantle them, all without you having to utter a single word. A quiet man is an unpredictable man. They cannot read your thoughts, so they project their own anxieties onto you, assuming the worst. This fear is a currency more valuable than gold. It buys you time, it buys you respect, and it buys you a strategic advantage before the battle has even begun. Practice it. In a negotiation, when asked a question, hold your response for a few seconds longer than is comfortable. Watch them squirm, watch them second guess. You will learn more in that pause than in an hour of conversation. This silence must be paired with physical stillness. Followers are fidgety, they are restless, their bodies betraying their lack of conviction. A leader, however, is a rock. His posture is deliberate, his movements are economical, and his gaze is unwavering. Stillness projects an aura of absolute control, not just over the room, but over oneself. When chaos erupts, the one who remains still is the one everyone turns to. He is the eye of the storm, the calm center from which all orders will eventually flow. Master your own physical presence. Eliminate nervous tics. When you sit, sit with purpose. When you stand, occupy your space with an unshakable sense of gravity. In a world of frantic motion, the man who can remain perfectly still holds all the cards. Chapter 2. The calculated anatomy of a plan. Ambition without a plan is just a daydream. It is a wish whispered into the wind. Every fool has ambitions. They want more money, more power, more respect, but they have no roadmap, no blueprint for how to seize it. Their desires remain fantasies because they are unwilling to do the meticulous, often tedious work of building a proper strategy. A leader is not a dreamer, he is an architect of reality. Your mind must become a fortress of strategy, with layers upon layers of contingency. Never construct a plan with a single point of failure. A plan A is useless without a plan B to reinforce it, a plan C to use as a misdirection, and a plan D for an orderly retreat if all else fails. You must think through every possible outcome, especially the ones you fear the most. Wargame every scenario. Who are the players? What are their motivations? What are their weaknesses? Where are the pressure points? Your intelligence must be flawless and cross-referenced. Rumor and assumption are the foundations of failure. You must deal only in verified facts. This requires building a network of information, placing eyes and ears where your enemies feel most secure. Information is ammunition, and you must be better armed than anyone else in the room. Furthermore, a plan must be executed with calculated timing. The difference between a masterstroke and a catastrophe is often a matter of seconds. Patience is not passivity. It is the strategic decision to wait for the most opportune moment to strike. Acting too soon alerts your rivals and gives them time to mount a defense. Acting too late means the opportunity has vanished forever. You must develop an instinct, a feel for the rhythm of the game, knowing precisely when to hold, when to press, and when to burn it all down and start again from a new angle. This instinct is not magic. It is honed through relentless observation and the cold analysis of previous successes and, more importantly, previous failures. Never let emotion dictate your timing. Your strategy is a clockwork machine, and you are its dispassionate operator. Chapter 3: The Armor of Emotional Detachment. Emotion is a luxury you cannot afford. It is a chemical flaw in the human design, a weakness that your enemies will exploit without a moment's hesitation. Love, sentiment, pity, rage, these are the levers that others will use to control you. To be an effective leader, you must learn to operate from a place of cold, objective clarity. This does not mean you are a machine, devoid of feeling. On the contrary, the feelings are there. The art is in building a wall between them and your decision-making process. Your face must become a mask. It should betray nothing of the turmoil that may be raging within. A calm, neutral expression is your greatest shield. When you receive bad news, your face remains stone. When you achieve a great victory, your expression is unchanged. This emotional consistency unnerves your opponents and reassures your allies. It tells the world that you are not swayed by the shifting tides of fortune, that your course is set and your will is absolute. They will find it impossible to provoke you, and a man who cannot be provoked cannot be manipulated. This detachment is most crucial in moments of loss or betrayal. There will be times when you are forced to make sacrifices. You will cut ties, remove people, and make choices that inflict pain, both on others and on yourself. In these moments, sentiment is a poison that will lead to hesitation and ruin. You must see people as pieces on a chessboard. Some are pawns, some are knights, some are queens. Each has a role to play, and sometimes a piece must be sacrificed for the good of the game. Grieve in private, on your own time. But in the theater of operations, your duty is to the plan, not to your feelings. This is the heaviest burden of command. You will carry the weight of every casualty, every broken promise, every necessary cruelty, but you must carry it alone and carry it silently, because the moment your soldiers see that the weight is breaking you, they will lose their faith and the war is lost. Chapter 4: Forging Loyalty from Fear and Ambition. Loyalty is not given, it is manufactured. Do not make the mistake of believing in the inherent goodness of men. People are driven by self-interest. To secure their loyalty, you must align their self-interest with your own. This is achieved through a precise cocktail of fear and ambition. Fear is the foundation. Your men must fear the consequences of disobeying you more than they fear the enemy. This is not about petty tyranny or random acts of violence. That breeds resentment and rebellion. The fear you cultivate must be rooted in respect for your authority and your capability. It is the fear of disappointing a man they look up to. It is the fear of being on the wrong side of a man who is always 2 steps ahead. Your reputation must precede you. Let the stories of your ruthlessness toward your enemies and your unwavering standards for your own people do the work for you. Establish clear lines and severe, consistent consequences for crossing them. When a man knows exactly what will happen if he betrays you, he is far less likely to test the boundary. But fear alone is a brittle foundation. It must be reinforced with ambition. You must be a vehicle for the aspirations of your followers. Identify what they want: money, status, a better life for their families, and show them that by following you, they will achieve it. Give them a taste of success. When the company wins, ensure they are rewarded. A soldier who is well paid, well fed, and sees a clear path to promotion will fight with a ferocity that no conscript can match. Listen to them. Stand up for them against outsiders. Make them feel that they are part of something powerful, something that elevates them above their station. You are the architect of their future. They follow you not just because they fear you, but because they believe that you are the only one who can lead them to the promised land. It is a fragile contract built on a razor's edge. You must be both their protector and the thing they fear most, shepherd and wolf all in one. Chapter 5: The Inevitable Solitude of the Summit. There is a fundamental truth that every aspiring leader must eventually confront. The higher you climb, the more alone you will be. The summit is a cold, windswept place, and it has room for only one. The camaraderie you may have shared with your men in the trenches will inevitably fade, replaced by a necessary distance. You cannot be their friend and their commander. Friendship implies equality, and in a chain of command, there is no equality. Your perspective will change. You will begin to see the whole map, while they can only see their small corner of the battlefield. You will have to make decisions that they cannot possibly understand, decisions that may seem cruel or senseless from their limited vantage point. You will send men you respect into danger. You will sacrifice short-term gains for long-term strategy. They will not see the logic. They will only see the immediate cost. They will murmur in the shadows, and you must let them. Seeking their approval is a fool's errand. Your responsibility is not to be liked, it is to be effective. Your validation comes from the success of the enterprise, not from the applause of your subordinates. This isolation is a strategic necessity. It protects you from the emotional compromises that friendship entails. It keeps your decisions pure, untainted by personal affection or bias, but it comes at a great personal cost. You will have no true peers, no one to confide in, without weighing the strategic implications of every word. The burden of knowledge, the weight of command, will be yours and yours alone. You must become your own counsel, your own devil's advocate, your own confessor. Accept this, embrace the solitude, find your strength in it. The man at the top of the mountain did not fall there. He fought, clawed, and bled for every inch of elevation. Loneliness is not a punishment. It is a testament to the journey. It is the final, hard truth of leadership. To lead the pack, you must always walk ahead of it, and you must be willing to walk alone. Here's the perfect video to learn the how and why about walking alone.